Okay, so we've added a new patient, and now we're going to talk about when patients return, established patients present. This is the main menu, and from here we want to use our hotkey, and we want to go into Edit Demographic, which is F5. Oh, see, it has this funny little, sometimes if you hit the keys funny, you'll get that. Just put a no here because you do not want to exit Medical Manager, and it puts you right back. The only thing I may want to do is start you at the new patient entry, because at this point you really don't know. They're like, well, I don't know if I've been here or not. Let's go ahead and go into, do the question mark, and type test, enter. And my name is Mary Test.
Okay.
And you'll see that I'm already there, so.
Okay.
So this is, I'm not a new patient anymore, right? Because I've been there before. So escape, and do it one more time, because you cannot load me as a new patient.
Okay.
So escape again. Medical Manager works in layers, so sometimes you have to escape several times. And go into F5, which if you look at your document, you know is Edit Demographics. Okay. Now the thing, well, no, you're going to have to type in test again. You're going to do question mark. You don't want to start with tests like that. You have to do question mark here, because there were a number of tests. So there's an Abigail test. She'll come up if you do that, because that A is before M. Okay, enter. And you can arrow down to Mary, and you can hit enter here. So it's taking me into the Mary Test account. Now go ahead, this is just the main menu in the account. Go ahead and enter one more time. Okay, and this is where you can go over her information. Are you still at 23 Deerberg Lane? Is your phone number still blah blah?
We had a girl that was different the other day. I watched, and they couldn't change her. It was weird. They had a call. But tell me how to do it so I don't mess it up.
All you have to do is hit enter, and it'll take you to the top of the screen.
Okay.
And you can just enter to the field that you want to get to. Okay. Okay.
And then,
save F1. If that's the only change, you can F1 here.
otherwise, I would just enter to go through each one, right?
You don't have to, because it's already filled in. It's just the first time you do it, they like these fields filled in. So
F1.
you can F1.
Okay.
Escape. Now you would, if I were here, you'd go and you print the encounter, which you go to a main menu to do that. This is not a main menu. Escape. And you do the \ENC for encounter. And this is printing out the actual demographic sheet.
And then...
Okay. And then to print out a demographic sheet, you're going to go with I for individual. Format is
10.
Appointments, no. Enter. You want to use no there, and then enter through all the fields. And you can hold it down. Just hold the enter down. Okay, and F1. Do you need an alignment pass? All that would do would be to produce a form with X's in the fields that it wants to print. Your alignment's set up fine, so you can put a no here. You do not need to print an alignment form. And that means, and if it says printing session form number and it says 1 there, you just hit enter and it prints.
Oh, because I stayed logged in. Oh, it didn't. Otherwise,
that's right.
Okay. All right.
You didn't have to pick your printer but one time. Now, if you log out, if you get kicked out, or if you log out and you think I have to get back in, you will have to re-pick your printer. It always resets it.
Okay.
Okay. So now you've loaded a brand new patient in the F2 screen, and you've seen what happens whenever a patient is actually established with convenient care. You escape out there, and then you go into F5 to edit it, because they're already in your system. And again, you don't want 2 accounts, because it really throws things off. You have 2 histories then. Maybe not good if a patient comes in and you only think there's 1 account, but there's other things going on, but you don't know to go look at the history of the other account. They'll get 2 statements. It gets really confusing. So that's why you always want to do the question mark. And I would assume they've been here before. Just question mark it and look, and if not, then you can add it.
Okay.
All right? So that's printing the demographic sheet. Now your encounter form is already pre-printed. I think the points to be real careful about there is that Cookie is not a coder. So it's very important that you don't handwrite a diagnosis and think that she's going to be able to code it. You have to always code the diagnosis code, okay? Make sure you've circled all your CPT codes. I know that the front desk girl was saying sometimes there are certain things that aren't marked. Cookie is not going to know that that should be the case and include it. She's not going to be able to kind of provide a safety net for that. She's going to post exactly what's there. So just be real careful that you're marking all the right information for her and that it's a complete charge ticket. Okay, and at the end of the day, my understanding is your workflow is once you see a patient, you put the demographic sheet and the encounter form in the chart. Is that right? And you set it at the front desk. So at the end of the day, what you'll want to do is plot all the encounters for that day. So what that should include is the encounter form with your charges, the demographic sheet that you printed, and a front and back copy of the insurance card. So every single visit should have those 3 items. Okay? So you just put a stack together for that date of service, all the charges for that day, okay? And you put the copay log on top of it. Okay? Because someone has to post these copays. And that's going to be Cookie as well. So you'll have your stack of charges. We'll pretend these are charges. And you will have your copay log. Now, my understanding, and the front desk can give you their workflow process, is that they have to scan it to St. Luke's and also scan it then to Cookie. Because she's going to take this data and she's going to enter it in the system so that we can bill it out. Okay? And that pretty well is the entire process. And what I can do, I developed this just a front desk process, and what we may need to do is add in how to print an encounter underneath number 3. We can try to make sure this is a little more complete so that you're not getting data from the front desk and from us, because there's information that they have that is more of your internal protocol than what we would do for billing. So I think this will help explain the process to you. But if you have any questions, I've left some business cards. You can hand those out and feel free to call.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions on the process?